All right. Hi, everyone. And let's go through the questions, answers, and rationale for exam three. Okay. So the first one, apologies for my voice. It's getting better. Trust me. Um, this has to do with the survey, obviously, that all of you did in class. You can see the results on the Blackboard site. But the question says, which statement below, which one of the four potential answers connects to autonomy? Second, autonomy. Oh, there we go. And so, this has been the primary sub-theme, the first one that you explored right from the beginning of the class. It's not about it's certainly about making choices, the ability to make choices. And all of these are choices, right? I want to be at home. I do. They all start with I. It makes a lot of sense. But what goes deeper? It's not just about choice because this what matters at the end of life activity survey is not just the ability to make choices, but what is most important to me. And the differentiating fact here has to do with this. And that comes through, quite honestly, from the big theme under autonomy, which is respect for persons. So even though we want to have our own ability to choose, which is a distinctly American theme as well, it's also, can that choice be respected? Can it be honored? Sometimes it can't, but that is the key thing. So I was just taking a drink of water. My voice is getting worse. Okay, let's go to B. Um, Now, this one has a few things happening to it. First of all, let's do this. Palliative care principles. Essentially, what that means is what is most important, what defines palliative care. And we've heard it, you've got notes, you've heard it from BJ Miller. The question, though, is what palliative care principles would apply most to Vivian? And because of that, you've probably got to go through your notes and say, what was going on with Vivian? Now, palliative care was never mentioned in WIT. But the key thing, the most important thing for Vivian was, for her to be able to understand what was happening. She was a professor. She wanted to learn. She wanted to know. And the idea that she wanted to understand, right? And the key word here is making sure that patients and families understand so they can be connected to their care decisions. That is the key thing. Many of you chose A, which is the clinician should honor all of her wishes. I mean, first of all, that's just not pragmatic. You can't honor all the wishes. That would be a nice thing in all of care, but that's going way too far. Understanding where Vivian is, okay? What did she want? She wanted to understand what was happening. All right, let me just take a sip of water here. Apologies. All right. So, um, there is a lot going on with number three, but there's couple things that really, you know, this is where you need to go deeper and say, what is really happening? Okay. So Brad's in the nursing home. He has these health issues. He gets taken to the emergency department and they start doing stuff on him. But this question is, also connected to an advanced directive. One of the key things that is mentioned here is the nursing home staff believe Brad had discussed his decision to forgo aggressive, blah, blah, blah. What does that mean? Well, the key word is believe. It doesn't mean that he has something. It doesn't mean that someone said, I heard Brad talk about this. I saw Brad complete an advance directive. So, in the absence of really having instructions or a healthcare representative, the clinical team is going to say, we got to do stuff, full code now. And so, the most significant issue has to do with the fact there was no direction, or there was a lack or confusion. And because of that, Brad got care that he may not have wanted. When I say care, I mean intubated, sedated, intensive care unit, this stuff right over here. And so it points out to the fact that without a plan, advanced care planning, whether that be on paper, like we discussed, without appointing a healthcare representative, without even talking to someone, it the default is to get full care. All right, let's keep going. Number four. Number four. Phyllis and Joe, what matters most to them? What matters most to Phyllis and Joe? That is the key thing. Now, Phil said at least 5 times, I do not want to be a burden. I don't want to be a burden. Absolutely, she was clear. Joe really didn't say much. He was a bystander. The question is, what matters most to them? We know that Phyllis didn't want to be a burden, but almost all of you, for some reason, chose C. Now, I have a sense why. Joe, we learned about his medical issues, his chronic issues, his diabetes, his kidney failure. Absolutely, he has chronic illnesses, but that is not what mattered most to him. Why would that be the case? What mattered most to him was also not being a burden. Did he say it? No. Did he let Phil go back to Philadelphia and say, I don't like it. I'm going to keep loving her, but I can't fight this. I know I'm a burden to her. They don't want to be a burden to each other. That's what matters most to them. That's why they agreed to separate and go after 62 years in their own direction. All right. Number five, we spoke about in class, sensuous aesthetic gratification. An example of that, of course, is the warm blanket, but that's not what the question's asking. The question's asking, what's the relevance? And the relevance is about shifting the focus. Think about BJ Miller. He's lying in his ICU bed. This nurse gives him a snowball, and he's thinking, why am I still alive? He feels the cold and he says, you know what? I'm still part of this world. The cookies in the Zen Hospice Project, people can smell and they realize I'm still alive. I'm dying, but I'm alive. Good Lord. Man, my throat is getting worse. Uh, and it's about helping them find dignity even when they're dying. All right, number six has to do with Phyllis giving away her jewelry. Uh, this has to do with burden, it's the theme, but it's also detaching or unburdening. Essentially, either of those are correct, mainly because it's detaching burdens, and she felt like a burden. It is letting things go. So, detaching, unburdening is key. Uh, which of the following best explains the ethical challenges? Mitra's case was pretty interesting, but the key challenge for the team was she wasn't involved. Now, we're not sure why, of course, but it really was her mother and husband who were making these decisions. All right. Eight has to do with basically Indiana, the hierarchy rule. And who should be the primary decision? First of all, there's two parts to this decision maker. Colin, the husband, can't make decisions, so he's out. So it has to be the daughters. The idea, though, ultimately, because they don't have a healthcare representative designated, is there's two parts to this. First of all, they're not compelled to use the form. It's absolutely voluntary, but they must collectively decide. Instead of saying the oldest or the youngest or the one, they got to do it together. Um, and if they don't do that, then the hierarchy comes into place and they take the majority. But this is the best answer. Number nine was one of the do-over ones. Uh, and this is about the statement in the Indiana Advance Directive, which is acting in good faith and make decisions. Remember, this is under the category of what matters most, and it's right there. It's there because when Vicky said cooking and food has always mattered to her, and there's a connection between an artificial feeding tube, but the key thing is matters. That's the key thing. Do not go down a rabbit hole. The information is right on the page, but you got to make the connections. And then the last one, before I go and take a nap, is about the sandwich generation. What's the primary ethical issue here? Primary ethical issue, when it comes to driving, is this notion of autonomy. People have been driving since they were 16. The fact that they're 86 is the most challenging part. All right, folks. Uh, Take notes, focus on the ethics themes and the sub themes, make connections. Thanks very much. Bye.